Hi, everyone. In today's session, we are going to introduce Siddesh. Siddesh has been working in the outbound industry for more than 5 years, and he has clearly worked out with a lot of UK and US clients and with one of the leading organizations previously, that is leadbird.io. So, in today's session, he's going to introduce Claude Code for us and how you can use Claude Code for GTM workflows. So, I invite Siddesh to take forward the presentation and his session.
Thank you, Manali, for the introduction. So, hi everyone, my name is Siddesh. I am the GTM and partnerships lead here at Pixelo. To give you my background, I started in GTM in 2020, and I used to run my own outbound agency. Over that span, I've worked with a few UK and US based clients. After that, over my last experience, I was working with an uh, US based outbound B2B lead gen agency called as leadbird.io as an inbox manager. So after that, now I'm here at Pixelo, heading the outbound side of things for clients and as well as so with at Pixelo, there's a lot of stuff, exciting stuff that we are doing when it comes to GTM, B2B, and outbound sales. So in this webinar, I quickly want to show. So we are also official partners of the top techs that are in the industry. So Clay, we are also an official Clay partner. We are working with some of the top techs in the industry and utilizing all the intelligence that are in the market. Also, we have worked with over, let's say, 200 plus companies. So just an overview of us. And so these are a few companies we have worked with. After that, so in this webinar, who is this webinar for, right? So this webinar is particularly for small teams, so founders with, let's say, 5 to 10 people, solopreneurs, like GTM teams where like 2 3 people are handling and spending a lot of time doing outbound, SDRs or BDRs who are spending more time researching, prospecting on different lead lists. They are doing cold calling. So as we know, I have a sales team, so most of our time is spent on researching every lead before we do a cold call. So there's a lot of intelligence we build in terms of who the lead is, which company are we reaching out to, and what our openers are going to be, what offers are we going to present. This webinar is also for RevOps and marketers who are doing a lot of things manually or maybe using multiple tools, and maybe they don't have like that big of a headcount or a team where they want to optimize their workflows. So if you use any tool, let's say Clay, Apollo, Smart Lead, Sales Navigators, and any of the outbound tools, if you are in outbound or GTM space and you need to optimize your entire GTM workflows and outreach, this is for you. Okay, so please stay at the end, and I'll be giving you the prompts. I will giving you the steps how you can carry forward and start using this, start utilizing this webinar and get more meetings. So starting with Claude Code, so as as people are switching, so before it were people were, as every new AI comes in, right? People are
Hey guys, seems like Siddesh has lost his connection. He is joining us in a second.
Y- Yeah, sorry guys, I just had a network issue. So yeah, so Claude Code. So Claude Code, yeah. So before we had like Chat GPT, we were writing personalized first lines manually. Then we figured out a way how we can use Chat GPT for doing LinkedIn research and coming up with personalized first lines, so that we can personalize first lines or icebreakers you want to call it. And now people have started utilizing Claude, and now Claude Code. And the reason why Claude Code is because what we have noticed is the amount of capabilities Claude Code has with comparing with Chat GPT. It is something that has reduced our works in over an hour. The amount of quality research which we are doing right now because of Claude Code, the amount of research we are building, the amount of workflows we have built, that has helped us to book, let's say, at least like 10 to 12 20 10 to 20 meetings, qualified meetings for our clients. So right now, the one of the biggest pain points I when I speak with GTM agency founders or SDRs or people who are doing GTM in India is that they are using multiple tools. So people are using Apollo, Clay, Lucia, Zoom Info, different multiple tools, and they have to export lead lists, then have to again put it in a different app, and then again, you know, uh, like exported, segmented, then again upload to smart lead. So there are multiple tools. Second, we have also noticed, like previously we were just writing like one cold email copy, and then we were adding variables, and then we were just reaching out to the same 50 people and same copies with minimum personalization. Before, there was a account research we had to do. So for the specific lead lists, we had to go through each and every account, manually research if this fits or not. But now with Cloud Code, I'm sure that work has definitely gone way much faster. So now we can also know, so now we know like which accounts to focus, which accounts to prioritize, and not to just do a spray and pray approach like before. So let's poll. Just a quick poll I had. Okay, so there are four use cases that I'm going to be showing on this webinar. And so what all things are we covering here is, first is when you do a raw CSV export, how we can build more segmented and prioritized lists. So in this particular use case, it's more to just separate. So before we used to go in Excel, do VLOOKUPs, segment, add filters, and then keep downloading stuff. So now we'll completely automate that. Second is the account research briefs. As I mentioned, like before, we have to go through each and every account, but now we can build intelligence in terms of each and every account that we want to reach out to, not in hours, but in minutes, so that our entire outbound campaigns are very focused. Third is we can personalize messages and angles based on each and every client, based on their LinkedIn summaries. So every lead will have its own personalized messaging, and that is completely different than what we used to do before. So I'll be showing that as well. Fourth is ICP scoring and prospect prioritization. So when it comes to doing sales or GTN outbound, right? Uh, Before we used to reach out to, let's say, 1,000 accounts, right? But then we used to figure out, okay, let's say out of 1,000, maybe only the top 100 or 200 companies were the actual ones that we had to focus on. But now with ICP scoring and prospect prioritization, we can start focusing on the high value accounts first, and then go on the low value or low criteria uh, focused accounts. So let's start with the first use case. that is export CSV export to segmented lists. So what this use cases, so if you have a raw lead list dump, how to make it to a campaign ready list. So the old way we had, so we were focusing, so we were exporting 500 contacts from Apollo, then we used to open it in an Excel, then we used to manually filter it based on company sizes, job filters, and in all of the things there was a lot of manual work that used to go. Then we used work, we used to segment it, do we look up Google and different formulas. But now, then we used to build like three lead lists, then again personalizations. So a lot of manual process was there. So now we are completely changing that process. Moving on, the new way we will be doing, so here are a few steps. So right now I'll be showing how we can segment a particular raw lead list and into different segments. So here are a few steps just I wanted to show, and I'll just show how we can do that. So is my screen visible? Screen sharing? One second. Is my screen visible?
Um, I think Siddesh is joining us. He's presenting, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you present again, Siddesh?
Yes, yes. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah, we can see that.
Okay. So right now I have a list here built for. So I have a list here with all the data centers. So this is very industry focused. So these are data infrastructure centers. So this is a very raw list which I've scraped from Clay. Okay. So now what I'll do is, for this particular use case, say I want to segment it based on uh, the amount of company size. I want to segment it based on IT service or consulting. Or so ideally, if I were to do, I would need to add filters and a lot of things. But also while doing this, I will also segmenting based on the amount of use cases they have. So all this, we have a company summaries here. So I'll just quickly show you how we can take a raw lead list and how we can segment it in just no time. So the first step would be to download it as a CSV. Okay. After that, you would need to go in Claude Code. Uh, is my Claude Code skin visible?
No, I think you need to share your
Okay.
entire screen. Yeah.
Okay. So now we will go in Claude Code and we'll just upload this list first directly. So whenever you upload, so now we will give the criteria. So what would the criteria be? So before this, I'll quickly walk you through the prompt as well. So Manali, can you share the presentation side? Yes. So what we will do is we'll cover. So we have already uploaded the CSV file in this. We'll start a new session. So I'll quickly run you like. So for this, you particularly don't need any coding skills. So you just need to write in plain text. Manu, you can go to this. So now, what we will do in this particular use case is that we'll first remove. So now this is in more of an account list, so we don't have email and company email addresses for this particular list. But now what we'll do is particular use cases, we'll focus on segmenting this list based on employee size. Then based on my specific criteria, I will make sure I'll give a prompt where it says that I only need data centers or people who have infrastructure. So it will give us only a different segment priority, and then I'll also see the segment this list based on IT consulting and infrastructure companies. Right after, as an output, I will quickly I will also mention the amount of CSV I need. So let's go to Claude Code and let's give that prompt. So always make sure first you give inputs. So the prompt can be as complex as we can get, but for this particular use case, I'm keeping it very uh, quick and faster. So one is improvement, then you give him context. So you just give him a few lines about what you do and why, in some context, and why you want to filter or segment this list. So I'll just give a few lines about one of our clients offerings. So I'll just quickly add a few lines. So I just added, we are a data center and infrastructure management company that helps data center providers to get started in different geographies. Then you give him the task, segment this lead list into below following criterias. One would be based on employee size. Some notes on that. So segment it in based on employee sizes. Second, instead of employee size, let's take it a little step ahead. Segment this lead lists based on the company summary. So I'll just let's start from scratch. Let's give it some advanced qualification data. So segment this lead list based on the following criterias. Only data center companies or companies who own data centers, that is what I want. Second, um, companies who help in consulting, who are or companies who consult data centers for infrastructure companies, then it will segment based on there will be a different list created just focused on this use case. Third, we can go for um, companies who provide uh, data, or let's do company who provide services related to data, cloud, or AI services. Okay, give output in three separate CSVs. One for only data centers, name the CSV as data centers only. For second, who are consultants, name the CSV as consulting companies. Third, for service providers, name the CSV as service focused companies. So what we did, we gave inputs, we gave some context, we gave him the criteria and what he needs to do. You can add more layers in there, or just a line, go to company domains and or company LinkedIn URLs, and follow the below mentioned criteria. So now what it will do is it will go through all the company's websites, domains. It will also check company's LinkedIn URLs, and it will segment and build a segmented lead lists based on the use cases we gave him. Uh, so just allow this. Now it's reading. Always make sure with Claude, never use uh, Opus, because Sonnet 4.6 based on my experience, it has worked great in terms of all the use cases we have with GTMs. But you can use Opus for very heavy research or very heavy. So let's say if you are using multiple MCPs or multiple automations in the backend, in that case, I would say Opus would be a great fit. But if you're doing this on a very small scale, I think Sonnet 4.6 does the job. So let's wait a few minutes. So till the time this is running, let me also show you the prompt which I have shared in the PPT, and let me also give some uh, thoughts on how to write the prompts, how to segment. So there is something called as context mapping, context using also. So I'll quickly run. So right now we'll get three output segments. Also, so I'll just give you some context in terms of with Claude and how to use or when it comes to prompting. So before you work, so what मेरे को ये शेयर करने का ऑप्शन है. Yeah. So right now it's running, but I'll give you some things to look for when you're running Claude Code. So first is Claude Code works on a context limit. So there is a one step ahead of this is where you can write your prompts. You can write again this put prompts in Claude Code and give and gave her instruction saying that reduce the context limits or reduce the context on this specific prompt, and it will give you a very small words or per alphabet prompts that will actually help you with Claude Code. That is first. Second is, in Claude Code, instead of doing multiple sessions or using three-step prompts as the webinar goes, I'll quickly show you. uh, Always start with one big session. So make sure you need to know all the steps you want for that particular Claude session. So give him steps like the way we do it in Clay. So hi, so go to this website and pick out and search for this, and give him criterias in terms of what exactly you want, and how it can, what exactly you want, what exactly you don't want, and what the output would look like. So for this particular step, since the use case was smaller, so the prompt is small. But as we go ahead in the webinar, I'll also show you how we can write very advanced prompts, and how we can build a more segmented lead list in terms of account research, and how we can prioritize or ICP score it based on that. So now he's read through all the 200. So I gave him a list of 200 companies. So I kept the volume high because then we should have enough information to classify, and that's the reason. So now he has gone through all the 200 companies and he has already classified them, and it will just create like three CSVs, and we'll just quickly go through what the Claude has given us. So right now Claude gave us three different segmentations. It will also give you the logic it has used. So let's quickly go through that. So in that lead list which we presented, it found 75 companies who operate or have physical data center facilities. It will also have showed you that. Then there are 21 companies that consult on data center design, building, commissioning, infrastructure. Third, we also have like service focused companies who give, provide managed cloud services, AI services, data managed cloud services. So in this way you can segment the specific raw lead list based on specific criterias. Now the question would be, where are these lists? So these are actually created in your computer. So Claude Code works locally, but needs internet to be connected with Anthropic. But this lead lists are directly created in your local device, so you can access it. So let me quickly show one of these CSVs. So I'll quickly share my screen. So here's one of the lists that Claude has given us. So as you can see, these are all data center facilities, actual physical data center facilities. And this is what we actually wanted, because this is what our ICP was. So this is how the Claude has given us. So as you can see, it has not even changed any sort of rows or column names or anything. It's very focused and very, I would say, hygienic in terms of the list that is built. So this is one use case. Quickly, let's move on to more use case so that we don't run out on time. So we got three different lead lists based on that. Second is, let's move on to account research briefs. So I'll quickly share. Uh, so what is account research brief? So what we do currently is for every lead that we research, let's say for, so I'll give you a quick use case, actual and an actual real life example. So I have a sales team of 6 people who do regular cold calling. So one of their pain points was that it takes us a lot of time to go through the LinkedIn and build some sort of research before we start calling them, right? So now what we have done is that for every lead we have created a research around what the company does, who its ICP is. Second, is there any signal in terms of they are doing? So second, let's say hiring signal, or there is an expansion signal. There is some sort of, let's say, decrease in hiring, or if they have posted in some forum, like what it will be, and if they are having challenges in the same domain. So based on this, what we are doing is we are creating openers and different offers and different angles, outreach angles, that we can reach out to the specific leads or the specific companies. Based on their research, if I compare it with previous, we have booked, let's say, 20% more meetings with this account research use case, which I'm currently showing you right now. So yeah. So before with Claude Code, let's say per account or per lead, if you're spending, let's say, like good like 15 minutes, but for a, let's say, 100 leads, or like 200 leads, it would take most of, you know a lot of time would just go on research, and in weeks. So now with Claude Code, I'll just quickly show you how we can build some research around every account that we have. So let me just show you some research on how we can use this. I'll just quickly share my screen. So I also have let's take the previous uh, lead list as an example, and how we can build out lead list, or how we can research on these accounts. So entire screen I'll just share. Yeah. So right now I have this lead list, which is of the same use case or the same company. So right now we have that descriptions or account summary. So whenever you have to build out account level research, you need to have its website, you need to have some summary, or ideally you need to only have website and LinkedIn URLs. And even if you don't have a summary, but based on the summary, if you have it, it works great. But let's just show you how we can build some account research in terms of what we can, how we can pitch this particular clients, right? So I'll just go to Claude Code. I'll upload this lead list, and I'll just give it a prompt. So first I gave him the inputs, what is the inputs around. Second, we are going to give some context about us and why, what we want. So I'll just give him some context about us. This is one of our clients contacts. give him some context in terms of what you do, how you can provide, what are the how you can help this particular ICP. So what which is some intro and how you can help the ICP. So now what exactly I want, I'll say research the given lead lists, go through their websites and LinkedIn URLs, and build me a research in terms of. So in this particular use case, what I'll do is I'll also cover my fourth ICP or fourth offering, that was ICP scoring, so that we don't. I'll just quickly show you. I'll also cover ICP scoring in this. Build me a research in terms of pain points, pain points, please note that for this particular use case I am keeping the prompts and the entire prompts very simple, so this is like very surface level, but what we exactly do in our everyday is very advanced than this. So let me just also give him score it based on the following criterias. One, if it's a data center facility or owns data centers. Let's say second criteria would be if uh, there are news or a PR activity in their expansion or funds raised. Third would be um, they should be third could be something around, very simple, you could say they should be above, let's say 1,000 plus employee size, or they. So let's keep it very simple for this particular use case. And so 1 point for this, 1 point for this, and 1 point for this. So out of three, I'll just mention out of three. So the higher the score, the better we'll focus on ICP scoring. So third, then output, you have to always mention output. Give me one single CSV with accounts, with account research per company, their pain points, how we can approach, or what, like how to, or like which offering can be useful for them, and score these accounts simultaneously. Okay, let's see how it is. So while the time this is working or the Cloud Code does its magic, I'll quickly show you one ready-made lead list which I've already created. So as you can see here in an ICP scoring, so this is a more data of all the GCCs that are in India. Then what we have done here is with Cloud Code, so we had a raw data and we had different criterias. So what we did, based on different criterias, we picked out the amount of tenures it has been since they are in India, or based on like different criteria. So we scored it based on our industry fit, so there were some specific industry criteria in place. So based on that we gave it a score. But then we also had the revenue matrices, so based on this revenue we also gave them a score. After, we only wanted GCCs who are very new, let's say under 6 months, so we gave like a different score. So I'm just giving an example here. So there was a different scores here. Then we had different criterias in terms of how, what are some signals that I would actually qualify this GCC as strugglers. Based on that, what we did is we gave a score on that, on that criteria, based on different signals that we tracked it on through our different vendors and all the capabilities we have in place. Then based on that, it gave us an entire total score from, let's say, an out of 10. So based on this, it also gave us in terms of priority, so which ones we want to reach out to first, which would be high priority, which would be medium priority, which would be low priority. So it also gave us in terms of, so before this we also gave him a very defined ICP criteria. Based on that, it also let us like, it also told us in terms of comparison with ICP status how close these accounts are. So as you can see, for some it confirmed, like the confirmed ICP, it gave us some high convictions. It also gave us some warnings in terms of verify this first before. Also we have someone where it directly disqualified particular companies. But now the idea, it also gave us some notes in terms of how we can reach out, or some notes in like what we should read about. So this is also in terms, also a part of account research, like what is this particular lead about, what account is about. And it also gave us some angles or an outreach or offering based on our offering and how we should approach this particular account. So this particular use case which you are seeing here, this we do on an everyday basis for all the enterprises we work with. So all the outbound campaigns which we run a sort of intelligence on each and every uh, on their ICPs and all the companies that we are reaching out to. We only reach out to the companies who are, let's say, in this particular ICP score, I would only reach out to people who are above 10. So what we do is we filter it out, and all the companies who are above 10, we only reach out to them. So let's say 9, I think about the top one is only 10. Let me just check. Yeah, so in this only the top ones are 8 and 7. So let's just select 8 and 7 and 6 for the matter. And after that, obviously, either you can, so either we filter it out based on score, or we filter it based on priority, and then we start the outreach. Then we find the decision makers from these companies, and then we move ahead with our outreach. So let's check on the Cloud Code once again. So if you are interested in learning like how Cloud Code is doing this, so let me just make sure. So we have different APIs and MCPs connected with Claude. So with Claude, if you only do a blind research, it will fill in some data from its end. But if you but that is what we have seen. So for that reason, we have APIs with Crunchbase. If it's an hiring signal, we have Traction, we have Six Sense, we have like all the we have Clay in the backend. So all the data or all the signals which we create in terms of our research is actually like real data in the backend. And Claude Code is just the so what Claude Code does is, which is amazing, is that it runs through different vendors or different providers in the backend, and it searches for those companies in terms of is there any intelligence or not, right? So this is an actual use case which I'm sharing with you guys, and you can start using this in your outreach. So let's wait a few minutes so that we get the finalized lead lists. Till then this is happening, let's also move to the next use case, and I can just show you the output once this is done. So third is personalized messaging. So previously what we used to do, we used to use custom variables. So previously what we used to do, we used to do company names. So this is something like that, right? And so there is a personalization trap what we have noticed. So before, like, we used to do personalization, 3 degree levels of personalization. What we have noticed is that personalization comes in all sorts of layers. If a company knows, if you know a specific person's pain points, if you have done so, let's say with account research, lead research, if you know this company's particular pain points, and if you're actually targeting or creating offers that based on their pain points, I'm sure personalizing it based on their LinkedIn profiles or education, uh, that that's not needed, as long as the email which we are reaching out to has worked. So previously, so always for personalization, also start with like small batches. So don't start with, let's say, 200 or 1000 lead list at once. Let's say pick out some top 20, just pick out any 20 rows or 20 leads. This could be name, company title, LinkedIn snippet, or one signal. So I'll just quickly show you how we can do that. But have some data in terms of if they're hiring or not, if they are posting jobs or not. Okay, or the least you could do is have their LinkedIn summaries or LinkedIn links, or a company summary or company links. Then tell the Claude what exactly you do, how you can help them, what are ICPs, and what hooks resonate with them. Also, as I mentioned, do small batches, and then you can, once that is done, once you have the messaging ready, you can do this completely. And through API you can create campaigns and smartly directly, and that this goes. So missing angle prompts. So I'll also be sharing this prompts with you. Once this webinar ends, you'll also get a PDF with all the different prompts and how to use it. So let's quickly move, and I'll show you how we can do this. Let me just check once. Okay, so I have a list of companies. So I'll just give you some context. So I have a list of hotels. So these are hotels, like like 1,000, 5,000, or 1,000 plus companies. So these are hotels who are hiring for operation roles. So I'm reaching out to the VPs, directors of operations in these hotels, and I'm also searched and I also scraped that what is the tech these hotels are using. So I only want hotels who are using Salesforce in their CRM. So this is one of the use case for one of our clients. So I'll quickly show you how we'll create personalized messages, like for each and every lead based on what we're offering them. So I'll show you what subject lines we'll use, what email copies we'll be using, and how we can personalize each and every copy based on the lead, right? So for now I have the leads summary, profile summary is important, the leads headline is important. So for now I have the company name and the company domain and LinkedIn profile, but ideally you should also have a company summary. So I'll quickly show you how we can do this, right? So first would be to download it, download as a CSV. Never let Claude always run, since it's more of a research and account based research. It will use your tokens. I have different methodologies for, that's a different webinar we can do in terms of how we can save credits and how we can save tokens. But for now, I'll just show you how we can create more research. So let's go to personalized messaging. So I'll just upload this lead list. Okay, now I will give him some context. So inputs uploaded is a list of hotels who are hiring for operations, who are hiring for operation roles. Upload is a list of hotels who are hiring for operation roles, and also use Salesforce as their tech stack. Okay, so the leads, you have to give some context. The leads are VP, directors of operations at these hotels. I've also, while scraping, I mentioned like these hotels have more than 3 plus locations. So now the pain point with this, usually guys, have these hotels have low have less than 3-star reviews on Google. So all this intelligence we already build it from Clay. So I'm just going to give him as much as context so that it can give us the most accurate personalized messaging that we can start reaching out this today. So these hotels are less than 3-star Google. All the reviews are related to bad operations or bad management. Uh, these companies are hiring for operation roles for more than 3 plus facilities. So this is the pain point, which are the signal which I have. The service I'm going to give in my offering. So we have a sales for native tools for hotels that can be integrated in their Salesforce to collect customer reviews instantly and create better. Um, we have a Salesforce native tools for hotel that can be integrated in their Salesforce to collect customer reviews instantly and create better customer experience. We have worked with just a. I'm just going to give an example. Let's say for we have worked with Hayat. So always make sure the case studies which you always mention those. We worked with Hayat in increasing their customer satisfaction rate by 3%. Okay, so I just gave him context in terms of what we do, what we don't do. So now I'll just give him the outputs. Give me, no, I have to give him more context. So we'll be uh, doing focused cold outbound cold email campaigns. Let's just put it there so he knows like what how we are using it. Let's put it in the output. Give me personalized subject lines. Only mention like some criteria for subject lines as well, which I'll mention, like maximum 3 to 4 words, maximum 3 to 4 words. Then give me email copies per lead, focused on, give me a personalized email, give me a personalized email per lead, focused on their operations at their current company. Okay, I'll add more in terms of how I want the personalized line. I also have some, I also have I have different skills in here, so I have not talked much on skills for now, but I'll add a cold email skill which we have based on 100K cold email copies which we have sent for our clients. So I'll just add that link in here for cold email copies. Please give me a personalized subject lines, give me personalized email. For now, let's do this. We can go DM1, DM2. We can also do LinkedIn campaigns. We can also do cold email campaigns. Also, let's do give me one follow. Okay, criteria for criteria for subject line. Let's add some criteria here. Always make sure for Claude, just give him criteria 3 to 4 words maximum. Should have the lead's first name or company name. Let's do for personalized email. Keep it under 3 to 4 lines. Keep it, let's say, problem focused. I can go more in terms of the frameworks that needs to be used, what tonality we need to use, the different angles we need to use, what openers that it could be for what. But for this particular use case, I'll just keep it very simple. So keep it problem focused, and and keep the CTA around soft ask. Okay, for follow up, keep it around uh, keep it around if you are not the right person, and you can use this in your follow-ups, right? If you're not the right person, we have been testing this follow-up and it's actually working great. So if you're not the right person, is there anyone in the company i can I can reach out to? Okay, but before we close this prompt, you have to give him how do you want it. So also mention the output, right? Output, create column for per lead. So create columns. uh, so it will be in terms of a CSV. So every lead will have a subject line, first email, second lead, subject line, second and field. So right now we have to give him that prompt. Create columns for subject line, create columns in this format. So it would look like something like lead, lead name, subject line, email, personalized email, and follow. So it will look like this. So what you can do is once this rows get filled, you can directly pick this and you can just add it to Smartly directly. That is the reason we are doing this. So create columns in the below format. Okay. Let's give it this prompt and let's see how it goes. Till then, let's go to our previous use case or the ICT scoring, which I know this session has been going long, so I'll just quickly keep it very fresh. So as you can see, the prompt we gave was give it a score in these three different scores and gave him some account research. So it has given us some insights. So which account is high? So this is the top one. So we have 15 which are in the high tiers or the ones we can focus. It has also told us the last three ones which should not focus and spend our energy, even the medium ones we should not spend our energy. It has given us some top targets that we can reach out ASAP. Some keynotes have also been mentioned. So let's open this. Okay, it's not opening in here. Let me just open it from my. Let's always check the CSV name, webinar account research. Let's do this. So as you can see here, based on all the different criteria we have given, so what this list, what Claude has does, it has given us some key points on what the entity is, what so simultaneous multi-city rollouts. It has picked out signals. It has given us what are the different pain points of all this different accounts. It has given us some recommended offerings, like how we can pitch them in terms of like month international build out. So this is very specific to every account. As you can see, this is more of an account research. So we also have some account expansion signals. So these are, as you can see, dates, funding signals, expansion signals. Based on that, then based on every signal, it has given a score. Let's say if it's a DC, if it's a data center, it is given a score. If it's an expansion, it is given a score. If it's more than 10,000, it's given a score. So I can do this across 1,000 plus companies. And think about it. Let's say if I'm giving this data to, so it has highlighted this particular company because it qualifies all the different criteria, which means this is one of our top accounts that we need to focus on. So but the idea behind this is, if I give this data to all the top enterprises with specific data in terms of what key points they have, what's happening in their market, what different offering and approach that we can do for them, as well as the different signals we have received, and based on that I can prioritize and give out a score. I think what we have noticed is that this is some of our offerings in terms of account based scoring. So we build out this data with different vendors in the backend, and this helps in particularly sales team and accounts team, sales team and the marketing teams to focus on high value clients. So that's how we are doing account research. It is also a legend in terms of it will tell you what signals and what scoring, what was the logic behind every score and what was the method it used. So this is how account research works. Let's go back to our personalized messaging. Let's see if it's done. I think our session has crossed like 1 hour limit. So I'll just finish this and I can take some quick Q&As and then we'll uh, share a PDF with you guys with the prompts and different steps and a summary of all this webinar so that you can start using for your own operations. I think our session has gone, so I'll be sharing you. So let's quickly recap and what all things we have done so far. So with Claude Code, I think the use cases which I presented, I think those were just the tip of the iceberg. But what we are currently doing with Claude Code at Pixelo is that it's very advanced in terms of the amount of vendors we have, the amount of research we are building. As you can see, that as I mentioned, it's just the surface level things which I've showed you, but it gets more advanced and more more heavy and more very defined research. So just to keep a recap, so with Cloud Code you can focus on cleaning and segmenting. With Cloud Code you can also start from researching briefs or doing account level research. With Claude you can also do messaging angles and personalized hooks and all of that things. You can also do a ICP score, and looking into that, you can create messages for each and every lead that is personalized to his particular use case and pain points, and you can directly launch this in smart lead, right? So overall you're saving a lot of time. I'll just quickly show you the spreadsheet in terms of what we have got in personalized messaging. Just quickly wanted to show that. So as you can see, this personalized messages. So for every lead, there's a different, there's a different subject line. So there's a different person. As you can see, this email is completely different from this email. If so, as you can see, it has kept, like we have mentioned that. So this particular email is very personal in terms of managing operations across Maui supply constrained resort market, means guest review scores directly impact revenue and owner retention. And the gap surface. First, we built a Salesforce native tool that captures real-time guest feedback across all your properties, so your team can act before issues hit public platforms. We have helped higher improve satisfaction. So as you can see in this, we have kept it very short. So since it's in a paragraph, it looks bigger, but if you can see, it's hardly like 5 lines. So we have done an opener in terms of problem based focused opener. We have given a small intro. We have mentioned how we help similar clients, and then a soft CT. So this is how you can do personalized level lead research as well as create personalized emails for every lead. And also follow up is different, personalized for every lead. So just quickly wanted to show you this. And yeah, if what to do now, so I would suggest like start with Claude Code. Go in Claude, go in, there's a download section in Cloud Code. Download it in your local device. Start with a small Apollo list, even an old one, that's okay. You can start with segmenting, start writing some prompts, and have some criterias in place. So for every before any prompts, have ICP criteria in place. Have every uh, your company context in place, pain points, and this does not have to be very complex, but uh, have all this in place. Start with Cloud Code and feel free to reach out to me. So you can scan this QR code. So you'll receive a PDF on all the prompts, like different prompts you can use, and you can start using Cloud Code. Uh, that's
Yeah, I think that is it from our end, guys. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and please scan this QR code to get all the prompts that Siddesh has shared during the webinar. And thank you, Siddesh, for such a comprehensive webinar going through each and every detail. And I think the audience would really get some help from this. So thanks a lot, guys. See you again. And that's it. Yeah. Thank
thank
you.
you.